Okay.
You want to drive him into the bit.
Give him the shoulder tap cue. Mike. Okay. If I ever show you video editing, that will make sense. I need to do that. That's on the bucket list. Okay, so today I'm here with Boo. He is a 4-year-old gelding. He came into training just this weekend. Emerson worked with him yesterday because I was out of town, and I told her what I thought, oof, flies are all over me right now, what I thought he was going to be like based on the conversation I had with his owner. So he was purchased from a cutting horse trainer and somewhere in Washington, I think it was, or Oregon. And she has his half brother and half sister and really liked them. So when she went up there to look at the horses, basically that's why she bought him. However, he will buck when he spooks at stuff. And listening to the other things that she was saying about him, I could just tell that he was going to be spoiled and not have a lot of respect. So I told Emerson that, and Emerson's holding the camera, so I'm going to have her fill you guys in on basically what you told me when I called you yesterday to see how it went.
Okay, so basically
You can turn the camera around and face you if you want to.
I'll keep it on you.
Okay, that's fine. But he was a handful, right?
He was a handful. He just didn't want to, like, work. Just everything I asked him to do, he was like, no thank you, I'm going to kick at you instead.
Yeah, so kicking at her while doing groundwork, didn't end up getting the saddle on him. Not because she couldn't, but because that was a major red flag that she was trying to deal with. And if that was the lesson of today, it really doesn't matter if you put the saddle on him anyway.
Yeah, and he was very skittish of everything around him.
Yeah, and she did say that. The owner did tell me that he was pretty flighty. And I've been trying to think of how to say this. So at my age, I don't want a horse to buck with me. I especially wouldn't want a horse to buck with somebody at her age. She's not, I don't know how old she is. I know that she retired and then she started her own business, but you know, it hurts me to come off a horse. It's dang sure gonna hurt her. So I really feel like he's just a lot of horse for her, and I'm hoping I can train some of this behavior and modify it to where he's manageable for her. That's my goal. So you know what I know, and I'm just gonna get started. Right now, I've kind of noticed that he's just not like super attentive. And I just want him to move his feet when I ask him to. That's lesson number 1. So when I point, you move. And you can tell he's kind of more concerned about what the other horses are doing. And my fillies, Emerson let my fillies out this morning, so they're right here gonna try to cause a little bit of distraction. But you know, he still needs to be able to focus on me regardless. And I did that with the flag to, again, get his attention. I didn't want you to run off, I just wanted your attention. There you go. He's pulling on the rope pretty good, getting kind of full of himself here already. Good. He's got a nice little jog, doesn't he?
And he disengages his hindquarters well. It's just...
Disengage his hindquarters well, yeah. But see, now he's starting to drift towards the fence because he wants to get over there with the mares. I want control of his feet 100% of the time. Nope, they're not going to help you anybody. They have nothing to offer you. Like he can't do what he wants to do when I'm in the pen. It's you focus on me all the time. So what I'm doing right now is to get this horse's respect, I've got to get control of his feet. And I'm starting off kind of easy, and I'm starting him off on the rope too because of what Emerson told me he was doing. He's just very cocky, thinks it's cute. And again, he's trying to drift over there towards those fillies. I'm keeping the rope on him though, I didn't finish my thought. Because he lunged so poorly that I wanted to have more control, keep him closer to me, and if he decides to turn and kick, with this rope, I can better turn his butt away from me. There we go. Good. A little change there. He'll start licking and chewing here in just a second. You don't need to worry about them. You need to be more worried about me. He might be scared right now, but he will eventually settle down and realize that I'm not trying to scare him, but I do want his respect. And a lot of people, especially women, are afraid to scare their horse to get their respect. Sometimes in the beginning, you really have to do that. It's necessary in order to get them to respect you. But because they'll figure out that you're not trying to hurt them. Pulling on that rope, trying to pull away. And Emerson, is this making sense? Like, do you have any questions yet? Okay, stop me if you do and ask. Okay, he's just trying to be cute, right? He's not really being very respectful. He's got his own ideas here. And it's subtle, but, I mean, to me it's obvious. And I'm not asking him to do anything difficult. I'm just asking for him to be respectful. Like, as soon as he's calm and he's listening, I'll ease up. There we go, right there. Good. But I don't want him drifting over there towards the fillies, or trying to pull the rope out of my hand, or running backwards. I just want him to move out when I ask him to, and be respectful. He's still trying to get away. He's not looking at me. He's looking for an exit. You can see where his eyes are looking. Did you pet him with the flag yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
He was snorty about it.
Okay.
But
So I wanted to talk about two genetics here for a second. Just because he is out of the same sire as her other two horses, they're not out of the same mare. And that other 50% of genetics does make a difference. Huge difference. In fact, in my opinion, I think the mare has a greater influence because they're raising that baby. So they're more likely to model that mare's behavior. See, you wanted to go backwards right there. Did you see that, Emerson? Yeah, we don't go backwards. I mean, when I ask you to go forward, you don't go backwards. If I ask you to back up, that's different. But you've got to establish that forward motion. That is so important. That comes before teaching him to back. There we go. Now he's licking and chewing. Okay, now I'll stop him and pet him with the flag.
I also don't know if you want this in there, but Peptoboonsmal, like closely related horses, all are very cocky on the ground. They turn out good, but I've never met one that wasn't cocky.
I mean, your cutting horses are going to be a little more edgy. What makes them good cow horses is they're half afraid of them anyway. That's why they watch that cow so much. That's why when Jeremy was looking at that, what was that horse, highbrow cat and Ray bred horse, I was like, no, you just need a trail horse. That's not what you want there. No. Yeah, he is a little afraid of it, but I don't want him to brace up. So you can tell, like when I get over here with the flag, he wants to stop. I don't want that horse to brace up. I want to keep his feet moving so he doesn't explode. Feet control the brain. Okay, disengage. Hips first, then shoulder. He hesitates turning to the left, so he sure seems like he prefers me on his left side, not on his right side. No, I didn't ask you to trot off. No. Yeah, that's true too. I should have turned on the sprinkler before I worked with them. So dusty. It's not as bad as it was. We haven't had but about, I don't know, 1/10 of an inch of rain in over 2 months. It's very dry for us right now. See, he's still just wanting to run off and not hook on. There we go. And I can understand part of this is he's going to be fresh. I mean, we just pulled him out of his stall. Our stalls are pretty big, but still. Not big enough he can run and buck. No. And it's a windy day too. So that's going to make this flag much more animated. There we go. Good boy. So when he was kicking at you, is when you were asking him to lope? Yeah.
Yes.
He was off rope, correct? Okay. You can tell the hesitation. He's like scared to move out a little bit unless it's his idea. There we go. He sees automatically, as soon as I turn him this way, looking for an exit. Not hooking on, he's looking for a way to escape.
Yeah, and he did not want to hook on lunging off rope.
Right, which is another reason I decided to go ahead and go straight towards the rope. Because once I get this good, I can take the rope off and he'll lunge a whole lot better. Be much more tuned in. Okay. See, he always hesitates. You notice that every time we turn that direction. Now, once I get them a little less fresh, I'll start doing random things with this flag. Like shooting it straight up in the air real fast because he's going to booger at that. But I want to make it easier on me, so I'm going to wait until he's a little more tired before I do that so he's not dragging me so much around the pin. And I want to spend more time going this way because this is his weak way. Now, why is that, Emerson? Do you remember what I told you? So he's looking at me with what eye? Right eye. Right eye is operated by what side of the brain? Left side of the brain, analytical brain, right? And if he's an emotional horse, which they all kind of start off that way, he's not used to using the analytical side of the brain. He's more reactive. So that's why he's more comfortable with me on his left side. He's using his left eye, which is the emotional side of his brain, which is dominant right now. Okay. Left is analytical. There we go. So we are literally helping this horse to rewire his brain and get him more balanced to where he can respond rather than react simply by spending more time on this side of him. I can't prove any of this, but I've never met a horse that was an exception to that rule. Never. Every single one was that way. Yeah, he looks like he's got a smooth jog, doesn't he? Go ahead and ask him to lope. Good boy. Easy. Look at me. There you go. I'm talking to you. He's trying to get his attention to disengage his hindquarters, but he was not really looking at me. There you go. Good boy. I like to make them lope too, wherever they want to camp out at the fence. So maybe in that corner or over here by the mares, I'll intentionally speed them up over there and slow down away from that area. At least I try to. There we go. Okay. Look at me. There you go. Good boy. Oh, I didn't say take off yet. There you go. There you go. See, he's guarding this side of his body by turning, body blocking. Man, I love these halters. He's still guarding this right side. Don't run me over. So my hand being up here by his eye is preventing him from spooking and running me over and trying to turn him away from me a little bit and let me just get over here. You know what I mean? And see, that's what Cassie's mirror was doing that first day we were in here on the ground, is she was running her over real bad with her shoulders especially. I wish I got that day on video. I don't want him running backwards, so I got him out here in the middle again. Moved him out of that corner. I can continue petting him with this flag, and I'm going to continue staying in his right eye. There we go. That's a boy. That's a boy. Is he any better today, Emerson, already or no?
Yes.
Oh, he is? Okay. Then you must have done a good job yesterday. Right? That's how you know it's not the same day, it's the day after.
Yeah, you know? Right. We ended on like the best note we could yesterday.
Yeah.
For sure.
I need to fly spray him. I'm gonna brush him and saddle him. If you want to stop recording for a minute, we'll save some battery. Wait, now are you recording? Yeah. Okay. So he saddled just fine. But usually if you have a horse that's tense, I didn't fix the saddle string on that side, and you put a saddle on them, they just tend to clench up more. He doesn't seem like he's doing that, and he's looking and chewing. See, he's more worried about the filly, so I'm gonna hustle his feet to get his attention. It's a really bad habit to let your horse not pay attention to you and get distracted by stuff. It's different if they're like spooking at stuff and they're unsure and they're kind of looking at it. That's not what he's doing. He just wants to go flirt with the girls. So that's a different situation. It's a real bad habit to let your horse do that with you. So whether you need to hustle their feet, pick up on your reins, bump their head around or something, keep that horse focused on you and what you're doing. Now, as he's doing pretty well at the disengaging his hindquarters, I start off kind of slow, but then I'll come up here kind of quick because it'll startle them and I want them to be calm about it. And I don't do it every time, I just kind of alternate and just kind of throw that in every once in a while. He's so much better this way than this way. There we go. He pulls on this rope more too, going this direction. Lope. Oh, we're not broke. I had to. He is not broke. Definitely not broke. You can lope without bucking. go. I was speeding him up to get him back on the correct lead. He changed really nicely. Okay. There you go. Now walk. Act like a gentleman, please. It's funny. Yeah, she's like, well, he bucks every time he spooks. And I'm like, okay. I believe that 100%. Yeah, I don't know if I could have rode that out. Even if I did, I dang sure need ibuprofen the next day.
I would have gone home and cried.
Okay, good. Now, in the beginning, when you're working with these young horses, don't lope them for long periods of time, okay? Because in their mind, this torture is going to last forever. So in order, just keep in mind, they have like no confidence, right? So lope them and stress them in like short increments. Stop, reward them, pet them, and then you can lope them a little bit more. Don't just get them in that round pen and then just lope them to death. Like, slow down, break it up, pet on them, and then go again. I didn't ask you to walk off. No, this is where I want to be, and you're going to let me get there. Guarding. Want to run backwards? We're not going to do that either. Nervous poop, that's okay. I nervous poop sometimes too. There you go. There we go. I just want to pet you right here and you not run off. Quit. I got onto him right there because he was just being what I call mindless. He didn't even know why he was walking. I don't want him to stop braced up. I want him to stop relaxed. So he's still tense, so I'm gonna keep him walking in a circle around me. There we go. He softened right there. Did you see that? Emerson, feedback?
Yes, I saw that, sorry.
She's so focused on using that camera that she's just doing an excellent job. Ooh. 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 There, don't walk backwards. Very guarded on this side, huh? Ooh. 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 Think. Ooh. Ooh. There you go. There you go. No, I'm gonna stay over here. Yeah, he does not want me on his right side. I'm just gonna keep petting you with this thing. There we go. Now, since this was such a challenge for him, I'm gonna let him camp out here for a second, relax. Because he really did not want me standing right here with this flag especially. If it wasn't so windy, I'd get out the tarp, but if we get the tarp out, I'm gonna have to get several pieces of, like several cavalettes to hold it down. And I'm being lazy, I don't want to. We'll do that tomorrow. Because we still have a lot to work on, don't we? Okay, now would be a good time to do some lateral flexion. If you liked this video and want to see more content just like this, in that little description box below, go to our Patreon page. You can subscribe for as little as $5 a month, and there's 3 different levels to choose from. Besides that, the interns kind of need a little bit of extra money. They're just a bunch of poor college kids. Right, Emerson?
I haven't eaten today.
So if you would, check out our Patreon page. We hope to see you there.
We're about to get a bronc, maybe.
I know, in the middle of all of this.
Fucking around. I haven't eaten.
So why don't we try some lateral flexion and making noises with the saddle. When I asked her how much training he'd had with that lady, she said she didn't know, wasn't sure. Like, I would want to know. Or maybe she doesn't remember. I don't know. I'm not sure. So we don't know the answer to that question either right now. I kind of have an idea. So she's had him a year. So I would say, based on that, he has no lateral flexion. Look at that. Oh, right there. Good. That's not much. That was only about the 1 o'clock position. So now we'll try it on the other side. So that's her emergency brake. So like when this horse goes to break it in half, she can't pull that head around. She can't get him stopped. And as you change sides, you're going to notice they kind of a little more leery once you change sides because now they're looking at you from a different eye. So I took a minute and did that stuff with the saddle before I bent him around. Help him relax. Golly, you're stiff. Don't run backwards. There you go. Good boy. I don't want him running backwards at all. So that's why I was kissing to him.